People often ask me where to buy yerba mate and recommendations, and I'd suggest going to supporting a local store or a small business if possible. However, if you're living somewhere where you can't, like I once was, and they just don't offer the yerba that you want, check out Pampa Direct. They have the largest supply of yerba mate that I've seen, and I've learned and tried so many from them before that I've never seen anywhere else. But not only yerba, they also have dulce de leche, alfajores, shirts like jerseys, games and snacks like chocolinas, which is one of my wife's favorite cookies. And I found some really great recommendations on there for beginners, such as Don Eregi, which is something I learned about by just trying different stuff there. And also some of my personal favorites, which is Pipore and Aguantadora Despalada. They have great customer service that speaks English, and in fact, they shipped me another package of yerba for free after they had mixed up one of my orders. And they always include like little, extras, like little candies and stuff, which is really nice. And they ship anywhere in the world, and they offer free shipping here in the U.S. with an order of $50 or more. That may change depending on your country. And as a sponsor of the show, they offer 10% off on your first order with the code POWER. Go to yerbamatepower.com/pampa to place an order. Again, that's yerbamatepower.com/pampa. P-A-M-P-A. Pampa. Thanks.
Welcome to the Yerba Power Podcast, where we share the power of yerba mate with the world. I'm Devin, the host of the Yerba Power Podcast. If you are new to this and yerba mate, check out a couple of the other previous episodes. This one is an episode where I recorded with Soccer's Football, the guys Eric and Seba, who I met in Nashville. They have a great podcast on YouTube that you can check out. In fact, you can watch this podcast on YouTube as well. So we recorded this before November. And what happened is that my audio, I was the one that screwed this up. My webcam and like my mic synced up and or desynced, I guess, rather, and it echoed and doubled on the audio, and it was terrible. So I went through the whole episode and dubbed my own audio for myself. So if you notice any weird audio things, that's why. Try to make it as seamless as possible. Hopefully you won't notice. But anyways, that's just letting you know ahead of time. So Soccer's Football, those guys are on YouTube. Great guys. So I finally got this episode published today. If you're listening to this today, it's December 18th. And the 1-year anniversary of Argentina winning the World Cup. So that's why I'm publishing it December 18th. So enjoy the episode, subscribe on YouTube, especially Soccer's Football, those guys. Thanks. Enjoy the episode.
All right, welcome to the Yerba Power Podcast. I've got Soccer's Football, the guys Eric and Seba.
Well, Devin, thank you for the invite, man. Thank you for having us.
How's it going?
Living the dream, man. It's cooler in Florida, so it's perfect. This morning, yes. Weather.
So it was 30 degrees here this morning.
What?
Yeah, no, crazy, right? Something to do with the higher altitude or something, I guess.
He's still 56 here. 56, and I put on gloves. I was doubling up, dude.
Sound like a wife, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But well,
What's happening? Is it going?
for you. Well, I got something just for you.
Well, yeah. I can grab it and throw it straight in the trash.
It's like right there's a show.
No, why do you?
So yeah,
That's something in the. We need something. Vamos Brasil.
Yeah.
You know something? I'm gonna tell you something right now. Even anti-Boca Juniors players are wishing that Boca gane. So ease up. Tenés que ser también patriota. No puede ser así.
Maybe I will cheer for Boca. Maybe.
They cheer for Argentina at least.
Miracles, bro.
It's just that the Boca team is comprised of 80% non-Argentine.
Bueno. Sí, estamos seguimos. Are we gonna stay on topic or what? What is this?
Yeah. So changing topic to yerba mate, I met these guys in Nashville when they were first starting their podcast, and they came here for see Messi play in the Leagues Cup, the final that was held here in Nashville.
Finally, yes.
Yeah. Got to be the final. So
I got to see you guys then, and so now we're recording a podcast of Yerba Mate and Soccer is Football. So yeah, obviously I know you guys are Argentine background, but how did you get started drinking Yerba Mate?
Oh, I have my
story.
I have my origin
Pero
story.
terminar, mate.
But hold on, I gotta tell my story now. So funny. I don't know if you knew this, Devin, but when you are the way I was, where I brought up, very conservative Christian household, and in my family, my grandmother used to tell me that the bombilla was the devil's tail, la cola del diablo.
Serio?
Sí. We could not, as kids, or me growing up, Argentina, could not drink out of the mate.
La cola del diablo.
You could drink mate cocido, which is you put the yerba in the pot and you boil it, and then you strain it, and that was okay. But drinking it out of here, oh shoot,
La cola del diablo le
la
decían.
cola de Satanás.
Satanás. What?
That's how they called her.
Gotta love them Christian boy people.
So when I grew up, I always was intrigued by mate because it was forbidden. It was the forbidden fruit.
When you first had it, did you think you were sinning against the Lord?
Absolutely. I felt like
How old were you when you first drank?
so no. When I first, I must have tried it here and there because as a kid, it's impossible for you not to. But but when I first had it, I probably was about 12 years old.
Wow.
And I was on a trip. I already moved out of Argentina.
You were already rebelling against
I lived in Puerto Rico by then. And I was in a family trip back to Argentina, and I got together with my cousins, and they're like, we're going to drink mate. And I'm like, yes, then I remember we sat in a tree, and I was like, okay, how does it go? And
I'm gonna drink the devil's tail.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I tried it for the first time, and I remember that I tried it, and it went around the third. I could not wait more. Like I drank it, and I was like waiting for my turn.
Yeah.
And by the third one, I was so wired. I remember as a kid.
So you were already doing the podcast back then for Soccer is Football. That's how we are when we're doing that.
But it was
always like,
I remember the time. I remember who I was with. I remember everything.
that's crazy. You never told me that story. That's fascinating.
That's hilarious because it's kind of like the same thing we do here, I guess, in the U.S. is where we tell kids that you can't drink coffee because it'll stunt your growth, even though it's never proved. That's just kind of what we tell the kids.
Eso está increíble. The devil's tail, no tenía idea que
La cola de Satanás. Mi oma me decía eso. La oma, my grandma, she was like, no, eat it. Because she would go, eat it. No, it's la cola de Satanás.
she German? Like
She spoke first language was German.
So she was strict.
Very strict.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense why your last name been.
Ben cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm not even better. Wagner.
Apúrate, por favor. This is mine. Sorry.
Okay, Seba, te toca a ti.
I used to my parents would drink it, and my aunt and my uncle and my grandparents, whatever. And I thought you know how in Argentina we'll eat lunch at like 2 in the or like 1 in the afternoon, and then we'll take the nap time, la siesta, and then we'll wake up para merienda, lo que sea, como 4 o 5 de la tarde. We have tea, whatever. I would just walk up and go, puto, un poquito, can I have a little bit? I'd take a little sip, whatever. I didn't formalize my mate kit or thermos or whatever until like I was 17 or 18 years old.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I didn't buy my own yerba. I would always drink whatever my mom was drinking. And then she got into mate cocido, so she stopped drinking with bombilla. And then I started seeing friends, when we would go back to Argentina, seeing friends and family members with their own kids. And I was like, ay, Tirisu, they have their own vibe. I want to do that, whatever. And now it's like, from 18, 19 on, I had my kit with my thermos and my mates all lined up.
So yerba mate always existed in your house. Like there was a cupboard, there was a specific shelf, there was a tin can with like I think it lasted 10, 15 years. I remember that.
It was the same can.
The same.
No se cambia.
Like it was.
Por supuesto. And then I remember one of the things about mate that I remember most is when we grew up in Washington State. And I remember making the decision to move to Orlando, and I drove by myself. And on that drive over, my dad prepared a thermos, un termo enorme, pero mate cocido.
Oh, yeah.
And then I put it in a little cup, and I would drink it. And every time I took a sip, I kept remembering the smells of the house, the vibe, the family, todo eso.
Bro.
Because when you're young, even the house, you're freaking out. What am I gonna do? And I came out here with, I didn't know anybody, I didn't have a job or nothing. So that mate cocido, I will never forget that taste, never. And then of course I became a formal mate drinker. And then,
Have you ever seen the automate? Have you seen the automate? You do?
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
yeah, automate.
It's like a thermos in itself, and like a regular cup, and on the top it has the part where the mate and the yerba, is, and the bombilla, and so the water comes up to the thermos pulls it up into the mate where the yerba is stored, and so it automatically
Mate
cocido.
Just like you drink.
Well, no, it's the same.
It's the same.
Imagine that this has a water.
Carson, every time you drink,
So lazy, bro. Well, it's probably when you're driving.
that's cool. That's
It's
cool.
when you're driving. It's incredible.
One of the things I remember also in Argentina is how you can go to any kiosco, like a kiosk or whatever, and you can buy the disposable ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the mate, the mate.
Because we drink tereré la playa, we go to the beach or whatever, and we drink with Fanta or 7-Up or Sprite. We would put it in there and drink it.
And the opposite of that is that in Argentina, it's rare to get hot water for free. You got to pay the hot water.
I know, right?
But here you can get water for free hot anywhere.
This guy has the perfect temperature water dispenser. And when people don't fill it, when his employees don't fill the water, he loses his mind. He goes, así, loco, mal.
What do you use to get like the hot water around here?
I drink the mate at 205.
See,
205 is the water temperature that...
I paid good money to get a water heater in the house, a water thing, a spigot, or only for mate.
Yeah.
And I have it.
I don't heat it with the kettle anymore.
We used to.
I have a little electric kettle that heats water.
You have an electric kettle?
Yeah.
There were years that I wanted to watch the bubbles. You can sit there and watch the water warm up, and then you put your finger.
Devin, I don't want to jump over topics. We're ready because I was going to talk about. There's people that feel that is not purist.
Yeah,
You're not purist.
you're going again.
You need to heat it with the kettle, with the fire. Like you need to go through that.
Yeah,
It's part of the process.
I know.
Well, if we want to get on my credentials, I did learn with the pava, or the kettle itself, teapot, and watch the bubbles come up around the outside, and that's how you know when it's ready, when the little bubbles start to come up. And then unless, of course, you forgot about it, and then it's boiling over, and then you have to go back and...
Like an Airbnb, whatever, and all they have the cacerola, whatever. I do the same thing. I like to sit there and watch it. I'll dip my finger a little bit, and then I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I read a thing about like how the whole process. It's like when they say it, they pictured it on the Argentinian angle, but it could be any human or any nationality. Is like waking up in the morning and being grumpy, and then standing in front of the fire and putting the water and waiting for it to boil. You're just angry at the world, and then you finally get the water and you serve your mate, and your mate is bitter, and you enjoy your bitter mate, and you're just angry at the world and the mate, and like the whole thing is like part of being human. Like it's like
There is nothing, in my opinion, better than the first mate in the morning. As you're getting ready and you turn the water and you get whatever, whether you do it a kettle, whether you watch the bubbles, that first mate, and if it's the kind of mate that you can hold, like yesterday I served him some mate and he was like turned off completely. We were working on a project together, and I served it and it was this one and it was warm and he went like this. I swear to you, he went like this. Okay, let's go. Vamos. Así.
yeah, like it warmed my heart.
Perdón.
Gave me
Yeah, speaking of which, you guys have some really nice mates to show off that are ceramic on the inside, correct?
the ceramic on the inside, and they have a logo. So get his food one.
Leather wrapped and everything.
Leather wraps, and we have personalized quotes. You want to share your quote first?
Oh, my quote says, biased, unbiased.
And what's that about me? What does that mean?
Explain that.
Well, when we started our podcast, like, I'm the type of person that I can't pretend to like a team if I don't, or I have to choose. Like, if there's a blue and a red team playing, I have to pick a win. Like, I can't go for both. So I can't be biased or unbiased. I always have to pick. And he was always saying, no, we can't show, like, we can't be cheering for Miami, or we can't be seeing like we...
Wait, finish the phrase. We can't be cheering for Miami just because Messi plays in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Or like, but I was like, I can't be, and since I'm so Hispanic and I'm still learning, I was like, I can't be unbiased or biased, or I'm not sure. And he was always correcting me. So I'm biased, unbiased. Not sure,
And we did that during when we were printing the maths out.
Yes.
Mine says north, south, east, south. Because I was supposed to say north, south, east, west when I was talking about the Leagues Cup final, the whole tournament on episode 1 of our podcast. And I went north, south, east, south, like an idiot. So then he said, you should put that on your mate. So I did, to remind me of my idiocy. To keep me humble. How's that?
So very inspirational quotes. Well, I enjoy listening to you guys on your YouTube channel and your podcast, and I hope everyone else listening to you guys really enjoys your podcast. And you're doing some great things, and so I'm honored to have you on here and to know you in person and be able to bond over yerba mate, and which is kind of what my channel's about, and you guys being on here. So,
well, I'm sure you've told this story, but if you don't mind sharing it with us, or again, for people who are listening for the first time, but what was your mate story?
Yes.
What is a gringo, okay? What is a gringo doing drinking this potion or nectar of the gods?
Nectar of the gods with a devil's tail.
With a devil's tail.
You should really nail the episode. Whatever you name the episode has to do with devil's tail somehow.
Yeah, for sure. I'll make sure to put devil's tail in there somewhere, just completely out of context. Watch to find out. Watch the end to find out. Nothing to do with yerba mate at all. Just devil's tail. Watch the end. Okay, done. So actually, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but when you mentioned about the smell bringing you back, so I actually have family on my side in Argentina. My aunt married an Argentine man who is the cousin of the great Papo Napolitano, which you guys might not know is a Argentine rock star in...
What?
So yes, I've told that story. So this was a couple years ago, probably more than 10 years ago. I don't know exactly, but my cousins were born in the U.S., but they live in Argentina. In fact, they live in Buenos Aires right now. We saw them about 7 years ago. So technically,
that's cool.
So technically,
you're Argentina. My family.
Yeah, right. Right now. So we had a event over in New Mexico, probably over 20 years ago. Probably more than that. I don't remember exactly, but they had yerba mate, and so we were at a hotel where all the family was staying, and they brought out the yerba mate, and there was this very distinct smell. Sure, at that time I would probably hear it. Of course, there was something, but I definitely remember, tasting it and seeing it, and that smell, and that taste, very unique, So fast forward, 20-something years later, and that's how it's part of who I am in the story, because, I share it with my wife, of course, now. And she was a Rey contra mil matera, before knowing me. So, I mean, she is the one that would get me to, drink it daily.
because, I would just drink it every once in a while with her or something. But then later I started my master's degree, and I guess to, get some energy and study and stay up later or stay awake or whatever. At that point, I started kind of making my own mates. So I guess I upgraded to an adult, by preparing your own.
Yeah, basically, I guess my mate origin.
Let me ask you a question about your mate experience. Was your first mate sweet or was it bitter?
No, bitter. It was bitter.
It was bitter. Okay.
No, I definitely remember that.
And did you feel, I don't want to say the benefits right away, but what did you feel right away? Because one of the biggest draws that I see with people is what they feel. Like long-term stuff really does in the moment. Like, did it give you energy or mental clarity? Like, what did...
Like the very first sip, back in the day, I no idea, I can't remember. But now, that's definitely one of those things that you talked about, like that first thing in the morning, that first sip, like, wipes away the cobwebs, in my head. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely before and after like effect. It's a difficult, deep concept to explain, kind of like mental clarity, or alertness. But at the same time, it's almost calming instead of like jacked or up on energy. But obviously there's energy involved. And I think that's that extra layer that I try to explain to Americans or those that didn't grow up drinking yerba mate culturally, that you share it. And that adds that extra layer of connection, that something special, kind of extra beyond the health benefits. I don't know how to explain to physical benefits that you feel. Does that make sense?
It does, totally. And it's also...
I know you guys get it.
No, sure. It's difficult also to sometimes sell this drink to other Americans as a shareable drink, because American culture growing up here tends to be more, that's your drink, this is mine.
Yeah.
You do you, boo. I got my stuff over here, whatever. So sharing, like, I think for Americans, and I've seen this happen with other Americans that I've introduced mate to, seeing them drink from one thing, 5 or 6 people, they're like, I don't know how I feel about that.
I'll pass.
I'm gonna pass.
I don't want to get marketing with you guys, but one thing that I've always I'm gonna get it.
I like it.
The here in the U.S., you holding a Starbucks cup doesn't mean you like coffee. Now it's a symbol of status.
Yeah.
You having the Starbucks cup means that you have the means, that you can afford it, that you are... Because people that drink coffee in the mornings in their house, they do it because they love coffee, but, and if you do it on a run, but the Starbucks cup became that status.
Oh, I don't want
to share. This is
mine.
You go ahead with your home brewed.
This is my status. You take care of your status.
Yeah. And it became a very selfish thing. And this is the complete opposite. It doesn't matter.
It's barbaric.
Even if your mate and this exists, because I've looked into it, but it's just too much money. Yeah. If your mate is made out of pure silver and gold details and diamonds, it exists. You're drinking mate for your $50,000 mate. It still represents a community thing, a let's share moment, not a this is mine, that's yours.
And it's a rustic device. It's a rustic device because the concept of filtering it yourself, not using a machine or anything else, and pouring water into it. I also have to say the importance of ritual for mate drinkers. And I will say this: my wife, when she does her French press coffee in the mornings on Saturday, Sunday. During the week, she'll drink decaf coffee, but then on Saturday and Sunday, special days, she'll do her coffee with French press, all in, whatever. And she experiences that ritual on Saturday and Sunday. I, on the other hand, have that ritual todos los días, every day. I'm drinking mate and I'm preparing it, and you have to angle the yerba, shake the so the sticks, the heavier sticks go to the top, the finer shit around the bottom. Make sure that you angle it, put that little bit of water inside, and then you fill it. It's a ritual. And if anyone should interrupt that, I've had the dog bark to go outside and take a dump, and I'm in the middle of my ritual. I'm like, you're gonna take a dump in the house because I'm not done. Only when I'm done, y tomo primer mate, then I can say I'm good to go.
Yeah.
¿Te pasa eso?
No, I mean, when you said that, I remember, like, on the weekends, what I can do different from the weeks is that I could probably take the time to prepare my mate, take it outside, sit in my porch, and then look at tree. Because there's nothing better than drinking mate outside for some reason. And I can do that on the weekend.
That's a good point, too. I think a lot of people, I'm, of course, looking through my, my perception of Instagram lenses, right? Seeing the posts of a lot of people, taking pictures of their mate, and it's pretty and all, it's great and all, no hate there, but just watching TV or sitting in the kitchen by yourself and kind of missing the whole point, or being outside in nature kind of adds an extra layer of enjoying it, especially in the U.S., people are kind of stay inside and individualistic and sometimes.
I mean, that was the appeal for me that I thought, like 12 or 14 years ago, I bought a domain name called Let's Mate.
I remember that.
Letsmate.com, like .com, that I still own it. And in my mind, I was like, I'm going to sell this to the gringos. And the idea was like, we're going to do like, the other one was stopandmate.com. And the rules were stopandmate.com, but mate.
Do you say mate?
No, you say mate because it's a double. No, because like you put, in my mind, you put a blanket in a park, no phones allowed, everybody sits down, you provide them with all the stuff, they sit around, they mate.
I don't think I told you this, but they had in Orlando, downtown Orlando, near I think whatever something west, that big building, the top, that near Lake Eola, that building. Behind that building, they had a mate, like a sit down mate place.
Really?
It lasted 5 minutes because they couldn't get into it. And my wife and I saw it driving by. We went in, and these Americans, and no offense, America, I love America all day, but they were serving mate to people, and they brought you the mate with bombilla, with a thermos, and they would say, this is how you do it, try it out. And they would bring cookies and whatever during the whole. It was a super cool experience, and it was in concept it was great. But they gave me boiling water, like it was boiling. It was like the Starbucks machine.
Yeah.
Boiling. And then so I told the attendant, I was like, this should not be boiling. And he said, oh, no worries. He brought me cubes of ice.
Yeah.
And he put them in the thing, and I go,
Nice.
Stop. Give me a second. So I lined up, it wasn't that busy, so I lined up all the employees in the back of the establishment, and I go, I'm from Argentina, and I drink this, like, basically for a living. That's what I do. I'm a professional mate drinker, okay? All right? So I taught them, I gave them a step-by-step instruction, like, guide on how to prepare mate for their guests.
Dude, I think I have a vague memory of you telling me this.
Yeah, and then they closed down like a week later.
So speaking of which, kind of want to circle back to that thing about, sharing. I just kind of gave it to my friends and kind of make them share it. Just kind of hand it to you and here, drink this without really explaining it, making it weird, I guess, And what they usually do is they'll just kind of, oh, thanks. And then they don't finish it, right?
It's a crime.
They'll just like grab it or, move it,
Oh, gosh. That's the worst when they do that.
So that's kind of the other interesting thing where it's kind of like, no, you got to finish it. Like, oh, okay.
And you have to make the noise.
It will only take like 10 more minutes to finish all that, and then anyways.
I had a friend who took a year. I would serve a mate, and it would take a year to finish. I'm like, we have an expression over in Argentina. ¿Puedes soltar el micrófono? Could you let go of the microphone? Just pass it over.
I was thinking that maybe we should invent those
windscreen something.
The ones that stuff that they, not that I know because I've never
filters
hookah before, but in the hookah world you have the little plastic.
like plastic.
Oh
So you put it in the thing, you sip, and you take it.
Yeah. No, mate. What do you call it?
Mate
cover. Is that mate cover? Mating cover.
You said mate condom. We just made this episode PG.
Mating cover.
Mating cover.
Yeah, there you go.
So Orlando playing Nashville November 7th, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Good luck, you guys.
Say
What's the first game?
So I'll admit I didn't watch the game that day because parent obligations. Okay, so I'll admit that Orlando is a stronger team, but Nashville has some stars as well, and they held their own on defense. I think they have the second in the league for least allowed goals this season, I think. We got our Captain America, Walker Zimmerman, who's kind of my hero. He's holding it down on defense, obviously, but goalkeeper is great too. Joe Willis. Joe says no. So we held you to at least one.
Fanico too.
The Fanico didn't play the first Orlando game.
Joe Willis says
The main
starter would.
Got it, okay.
They have the cheer. I don't know if Joe says no. Joe says. But when he shot this game.
Wait, you did learn that you can do that one.
And do that.
Did you guys see Soccer Moses?
I did. I know who he is, but I didn't get to see him. But yeah, there's these guys.
So there's a guy in the supporter section, the Ultra, the Barra Brava, whatever you want to call it, right? I think the backline SC is the official name. So anyways, he dresses like Moses. He has the beard and everything, and he'll go up and down the bleachers with the stands with a "Thou shalt not commit foul" or "Let my people goal." And which is even better is he has the sign on both sides, like English and Spanish. And he basically became the kind of official, unofficial mascot for Nashville SC. And he has this wall or mural where he'll put sayings and stuff before the matches. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Very smart coach.
Anyways, he stands. I thought do something to like, but.
So this was recorded before November 7th, but that's when Orlando played there. And so Nashville has the biggest soccer-specific stadium in the U.S.
Yeah, beautiful. You guys have a great venue. It can also be a hostile venue for any team that comes out of there. Because your supporters are great.
I think so. I'm pretty proud of our supporters section, because especially it being a new team. And, typically in the U.S., soccer's not as popular or well attended, especially in a city like Nashville where, you kind of wouldn't expect it to be a very big thing. And so, I'm very, very proud of them for being good at a team. And we'll see how the goes in next season because it's already past MLS, Cup.
You said
score predictions.
You said it's going to be.
I think it's going to be 3 games.
3 games.
It is going to be 3.
Go to the third game.
Because, Geodis Park, it's intimidating. The fans there, I think they're going to show up. If I see anything like when we went there, that supporter section, they show up, man. And, it's not the same. So, but
Orlando has a really good away record.
Yeah. Actually, the second best
away record.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. I mean,
we would like it to be. You know what? Honestly, we would. People from Orlando are gonna hate us, but it would be really cool if it went to a game 3, because the episode that we did on Monday had so many technical glitches on it that we would love to do this episode again that we did in the pickup truck driving around Exploria Stadium in Orlando with proper mics. Properly set up, because that was rough.
But you learned a lot, and I thought it was a cool concept for sure.
Hey, man,
we got to perfect it though. Now, what is it about soccer and mate? Because this inevitably they go hand in hand for some reason, and we can say the same about a lot of other things, like. I've seen the Metallica. There's a Metallica band member that drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So, mate and performing. Mate and performing, but specifically in sports, I don't think you can drink a cup of coffee and then go play a game. I think it'll mess you up. But you could drink a mate thing and go straight to the field and it'll be fine.
Dude, he's totally like referring without even knowing it subconsciously to your episode about sports performance, the last one he did.
Yep.
I love that episode. He did an article. He covered an article at Runner's World about drinking mate before going on long runs.
Oh, really?
This cat did 36 hours of running.
I saw
And
that
he
story, but I didn't.
fueled on mate.
That's crazy.
That's major.
Yeah, thanks. That was my, I guess, fuel, because you need something to keep going out there, right? And I agree with you about the coffee. I know several people that can't drink coffee before a run because they'll get out there like 3 miles in and be like, uh-oh,
Yeah, it's a crash. Are you still doing that donation page?
It should still be live.
Okay.
So,
Because I want to donate.
to those that are listening, I'll probably put a link in there about.
Yeah, but I drink mate before cycling all the time.
So I was going to ask you about that actually. So honestly, I typically drink mate like after I finish the run in the morning, because I actually have like time to sit down and enjoy it, I guess, versus, kind of chugging it and getting out there and running. But I think you mentioned where you drink like a half liter or something like 30 minutes before or something like that, right?
I do about an hour before, but I drink water before leaving and during the ride because mate is a natural diuretic, and it dehydrates you very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to compensate with water if you don't want to cramp up or have any problems with performance lean.
Yeah.
Or taking a smaller doses.
Do you do like the electrolyte or salt sticks or anything like that?
I use them.
You do?
I use them once in a while when it's hot.
Yeah.
And during winter months or fall months, I would just drink water. You know what I've even thought about doing, dude? I thought about doing where I bring a little pouch. This looks so weird. A little baggie with mate. Like a baggie of like the weed, mate. Not weed, it's mate. And then bringing a bombilla in my back pocket for in my cycling gear, and then just getting some hot water somewhere. Like this winter, I'm gonna try it out.
Oh, yeah.
Get some hot water, armar el mate, tomar ahí, like café, listo.
So there's a guy that follows me, is Cheest, I guess how I say it, guy in England. He does like ultra runs, outdoor camping and stuff. I'll tag him in here. He's done some of that stuff outside, camping and preparing his mate and in like a baggie or just sitting there with a bombilla.
Hey.
So
That's a little wrong.
Okay.
I got a question. I got a mate question. Can I throw in a question that's weird?
You've already.
talked about other things.
So, but mate in the morning, okay? Do you drink it before brushing your teeth or after brushing your teeth?
Personally,
I want you to answer that.
for me, before brush my teeth.
Okay, you?
I have a problem, boys. Because I drink it before brushing my teeth, and then the taste is in my mouth. I don't want the taste to go away. So sometimes I'll brush my teeth like at 10:30 in the morning. Because I've been drinking it all morning, and I'm like, I don't want to ruin this. And I know people are gonna get ew, whatever. I don't care. I'm by myself at home.
Yeah, if it's up to preference before, because after it just tastes weird for
Horrible. You could eat certain foods or taste certain things that will ruin your mate experience.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No? Does that happen to you?
Well, I can't think of a time where I've brushed my teeth and then drank yerba mate, but I could see how it'd be like, orange juice or something.
Well, what's your do you like tereré, like the cold mate, for lack of a better, or not?
Yeah. So you've touched kind of like a chink in my armor, I guess you could say, because I don't really drink tereré,
So here's a new experience for you. This is more from Paraguay and Uruguay than Argentina, but
Sure.
they drink a very minty mate, and the true tereré, which is a cold mate that you drink in summer, it's just cold water and this minty yerba mate, which is really incredible. Like if you really get really cold, yes, it's really cold water with this bitter, minty yerba mate. It's incredible. It's hard to find though. You got to do it with the right mate. It's really good. It's yerba de, like it's from Uruguay and Paraguay. I can't tell.
Okay, so it's is this similar to CBC?
No, because CBC has a lot of like different herbs. But I'm talking about they have a specific one that's very, very minty.
There's Corupi, which is from Paraguay, which is super minty.
It could be. Yeah. So, but I learned to drink tereré with like tang, like
También, igualito.
the powder orange juice, but with Sprite. It's delicious with Sprite.
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale is delicious.
It's delicious with ginger ale.
Personally, when my wife first got me to try it was with Sprite. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way my wife will drink it is if I do a really good tereré with like a really nice like a juice or something, because it's really like drinking an iced tea, like a nicer iced tea or whatever
With a filter.
Yeah, and I don't know why I asked the question about the tereré.
That's what happens when hell freezes over.
Yeah, I've actually, it's oddly enough, I'll drink hot mate outside in the summer. Here,
Yeah, me too. Absolutely, no problem.
No, it doesn't.
Now dessert mate. Have you ever had dessert mate?
The hell is that?
Well, you put milk.
Oh no! That isn't dessert. I mean, that's winter. Like
When I had milk
Pumpkin spice.
instead of water.
No. Okay, so let me ask you. Let me tell you something.
I actually found a pumpkin spice yerba mate like can drinking cocktail for it. So
This will okay. I don't know what kind of lactose issues you may or may not have, but this will create new lactose issues in your stomach. But it is 100% worth doing. Even if you're crapping your pants for 3 days, it's 100% worth doing. What he's saying, warm the water, warm some milk, some regular milk, just like you would the mate water. And then put that in a mate that's obviously not it's got to be a ceramic one, or it could be like,
try not to use
a cup,
wood.
like it could be a tin cup, because that little tin cup, whatever.
yeah.
Or with mate, normal, a little bit of sugar, it'll be the best thing you've ever had.
It's incredible.
And then 3 hours later, you'll be praying to Jesus that you don't crap your pants driving down the road. But it's incredible. I don't think it's that. No.
It settled perfectly for me.
I block off my calendar for a few days to be at home.
Then
next to the toilet.
And then if you do mate cocido, then you put mate cocido con leche, right, with milk. And you do that mate cocido with milk, and then you take a big spoon of dulce de leche, and you throw that in there.
And that's it. Oh my gosh. I'm hungry. I just had lunch and I'm hungry.
You gotta try that, Devin. You gotta try that.
Just try it, bro.
I will.
I've had dulce de leche. On your reaction.
Now, let's say that in there.
Oh man! And then with the, then you let it.
I can say,
And then you taste that, but then you take the spoon out, and then you get, a little bit a little bit residue. So you eat that dulce de leche with the and then you go fish for more that hasn't melted yet. Look at that!
Going on me, Luna.
It's incredible.
It's over.
It's incredible.
I feel like I want some mayonnaise.
Anyway,
This is what happens when we talk about this. Oh, ¿te acuerdas que we had mate? So we went to New York a couple of years back, and we had mate. Helado de mate.
Oh yeah, ice cream.
Mate
Ice cream. That was good.
Devin, if you ever go to New York, you gotta try it out.
So I think it was last year, there was the Feria de Mate in Buenos Aires, and they had like a yerba mate slushy kind of thing. Yeah. So one follower told me it was really good, but I haven't actually, tried it myself. So, well, fellas, thank you so much for being on this podcast, Yerba Power Podcast. We can find Soccer is Football on YouTube, Instagram, anywhere else.
TikTok,
Facebook, and Spotify, and Apple.
Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're trying to be like you, bro. We're trying to be like you, but it's not working. You're getting up front.
Hey, and let's do this. Do you want to give away one of our mates to one of your listeners?
Yes.
And if you do, you come up with something that they need to say or
Like
write.
contest or whatever.
Love to.
Then if somebody's still listening, they'll win. Because then, why don't you come up with something that they need to write on your post? Like,
Okay.
come up with something right now.
All right.
Whoever writes it will win.
And we'll have a special phrase like Yerba Mate Power, whatever you want on it.
We'll put Soccer is Football logo and Yerba Mate Power logo.
Buenísimo.
On the-
Collaboration. All right, go ahead.
All right. So when I first thought about this, I said, hey, in the comments, you should write Satan's Tail. But I realized I didn't want people posting like Satan's Tail all in my comments. So how about you just tag Soccer is Football in the comment section? Tag Soccer is Football in the comment section to enter the win of mate.
Yes. Satan's tail.
Satan's Tail. They need to write that.
Satan's tail.
So we joked about this, but no, for real. Tag Soccer is Football in the comments below if you're still listening to be entered into the contest to win the mate.
That's perfect, dude. I love it.
All right. And then we're giving away a mate from the Soccer guys.
Yeah. It'll be like this. It'll be like this. But it'll have the Yerba Mate Power logo right here.
And then Satan's tail back here.
And then we'll maybe put the name of the person or something, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever you want.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, thank you guys once again for being on the podcast. Is there any other final thoughts or words or anything you want the audience to know? Or,
I don't know. I mean,
Tune into our 18 episode for November 18th.
Nice.
It's going to be gigantic. It's going to be the fusion of many things. And tune into the December 18th 18 episode as well.
that's the big one.
That's the 1 year anniversary of winning the World Cup.
Anniversary, yep.
Okay?
Wonderful.
Other than that, we love you, dude. We love what you're doing. Thank you for having us. You have some great content. Everyone that's listening to this, if you want to understand what mate is, mate culture, mate practices, everything, talk to this guy, listen to this guy. He's a great guy. Great content.
Yerba Mate Power.
Woo! Yeah.
All right. Let's leave. Soccer is. All right, guys.
Take care.
Hey, Dobbs, thank you, man.
See you later. Maybe see you, bro.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Yerba Power Podcast. I had so much fun with those guys. Seba and Eric are great people. Buena gente, buena onda. I mean, they're a good vibe, good people. I really enjoy getting to know them, and they're great. They have a great podcast, so check out Soccer is Football. Hey, once again, thank you guys for listening. And SpeakPipe, I'll put it down below. Thanks, shout out to Zach. I'm going to respond to his question in the next episode. If you have questions, comments, concerns, anything, specifically questions or stuff that you want me to talk about in an episode, go to the SpeakPipe, the link below, click on that, and you can send me a voice message, and I'll put it in the next episode to talk about. So thank you guys. Check out Suckers Football, subscribe to them. Great people. Talk to you soon.